What's up, Multiverse Sub here, and welcome back for another medieval fantasy RPG. So last time we fought our way out of the castle, and now we're just camping for the night. So let's see what's gonna happen next. You wait until Reginold begins snoring before you pull your spellbook out of your backpack. Reginold hates it when you study magic while you're supposed to be keeping watch, but you need something to distract you from the cold. With flint and tinder, you light a single candle to read by. The arcane text that you have read 1,000 times over, but differently each pass through, provides a sort of familiar comfort, a comfort you are grateful for in this dark forest. Soon you're lost in study. After some time, you can never keep track of time when immersed in magical lore. You, you exclaim, "Yes!" Danger! Reginald rolls over his eyes slits. He is only half awake. I understand invisibility. I can turn invisible. At last! This spell has eluded me for so long. At least, I think I understand. You say as you point down at the arcane symbols in your book. Go to sleep. Reginald slurs, and then his head falls back to the ground. This is Goblin Country, and I am on watch. I dare not sleep. You say, but Reginald does not hear you. He is snoring again. It turns out that you are not so vigilant after all. At some point, as you gaze at the candle flame, you fall asleep. Awaken! Someone is near, Reginald whispers as he shakes you. You sit up groggily. You sit up groggily. It is early morning. At first, all you hear are singing birds. Then, sure enough, voices trickle in through the trees. Not goblins. Not in the daytime, you think. They approach upon the trail. They. This is Saiba. They approach upon the trail, Saiba says, huddling in her blanket. To the trail. To the trail then. But keep quiet, says Reginald. Why? Why not stay still and let them pass? Asks Saiba. Because we are adventurers, you whisper fiercely as you gather your backpack. Refusing to be left by herself, Saiba follows you as you creep up to the edge of the trail. Thank the god she is not sniffling or otherwise making a racket. You have just taken up your position in the brush when you see the first of the column of priests of Nerul. We're gonna fight the priest again. Several of them are speaking casually, loudly even, as though they and not the goblins own this part of the woods. As they pass by, you see in the middle of the column a large stretcher made of thick wooden branches and rough spun fabric. It's carried by 8 priests. Upon the stretcher is a pure white horse whose legs are bound with rope. Not a horse, but a unicorn. You have not seen one before, but the long, softly glowing horn is a dead giveaway. Oh yeah. Are we gonna ride the unicorn now? Gonna steal it and ride it to freedom? Several meters behind the main party are a tall man and a woman. Now we see our bad guys. You know the young woman, or to be precise, you know of her. She is the beautiful Lady Egrain. Egrain, the daughter of Egrain, Lord Egrain. Okay. Her father holds a keep and estate some distance from town, and her family comes to Ring City for annual tournaments. More than once you have gazed wistfully at her from the cheap seats far in the corner of the jousting arena. She's a pretty. Allow me to take a moment to apologize to those readers who, in real life, prefer to gaze wistfully at handsome men. Okay? Since you are playing the part of a heterosexual male wizard and now gazing most wistfully at this woman, you are disappointed and somewhat horrified though, not because she's a woman, but because she is, in fact, an Aurelian priest. Yeah, actually. Well, because she's a bad girl. And the man with her, you wonder. After a moment, you recognize him as her father, Lord Egrin. To think a man such an illustrious line would get mixed up with this evil lot. Anyway, back to Lady Egrin. Egrin. I just can't pronounce the name. Her jet black hair is pulled back to reveal a most shapely long neck. Her flawless skin glows in the dawn light. It is as though the sun itself, desperate to touch her, has found a path through the forest canopy. Canopy. How do you... I, canopy. The golden and holy symbol of Nerul hanging over her bosom contrasts nicely with her large brown eyes. Let's do a deep voice. We cannot go back there. Not yet. Lord Egrin is saying. Why would... Ah, how... Let's do a... Why would... It's hard to do a female voice. Why would we go back ever? Fair enough. That ruins of that ruin offers no decent bath, Lady Egrin That ruin offers no decent bath. Lady Egrin replies. There is some unfinished business. However, it can wait. Lord Egrin says as he absently pats the pocket of his immersed fur-lined overcoat. The old one will move on from Castle Inverness to seek the living. Let us hope he does not exact revenge upon us. After the column has passed out of earshot, Reginald sighed. A unicorn, was it not? Where did they find such creature? And what do they plan to do with it, you ask? I wager they do not plan to simply feed her apples and comb her mane, Reginald replies. Her? It is a lady. It is a lady unicorn. Almost said Lady Rainicorn. Oh, I did not look in that decisive region. Reginald blushes. Such craven and pathetic simpletons. Saiba sits as she glares after the column of priests disappearing around the bend. I propose we tie each of them down and cut off one finger at a time. We will bind their wounds to ensure they will not lose too much blood and fall unconscious. I will then take their eyelids and... Oh, I do not think all that will be necessary, you interrupt. There are perhaps 2 dozen of them. I do not think there I do not think we will have time for all that uh, work. You and Reginald exchange perplexed looks, and then Reginald whispers in your ear, "Young maiden love unicorns." Saiba regards the two of you with hard eyes. We should attack them now and make them pay for their transgressions. There are too many, Reginald protests, even with the element of surprise. I thought you said you were adventurers. Saiba interrupts. Look, Saiba, we almost didn't get out. We barely got out of the castle, and now you want us to fight again. I only got 5 manas and 8 lives left. 8 life points left. Okay, so if you just chill out for a few hours. Adventurers, not not idiots. Reginald replies, his pride clearly hurt. It's all right, Reginald. There are only three of us, and they are slowed by their burden. We could cut through the woods and get ahead of them. We shall ambush them as they come by. Oh, Saiba, this. Okay. Or or we could follow them from distance and learn more about our quarry. Perhaps strike at more opportune time. Reginald says. And perhaps they will notice us following them. Or perhaps they are journeying to some vile fortification that we cannot hope to storm. I say we ambush them now while they're in the open. Cybus says. What do you say? I think the wise choice. Let's see our stats first. Do I have... I'm out of... Okay. Let's just follow them. Wise are once the mere frightened merchant's daughter suddenly wishing to play the role of a bloodthirsty bottle of tactician, you wonder. Dear Saiba, we will mete out justice to these villains for the death of your father, among other countless evil deeds in due time. You are not trained in the art of war as Reginold and I are. Even if we set a successful ambush, their numbers are simply too great for 2 men. There are 3 of us, Saiba says, fiercely as she thrusts out her palm. A blade for me? Certainly, adventurers have more weapons than they need. Reginald shrugs, unbuckles a dagger belt, and hands it to her. Even if they scurry out to a fortification of some kind, we will take them. I have the trust of the captain of the guard of Ring City. We will not suffer evil so close. We will not suffer evil so close, says Reginald. The, the 3 of you set off after the priest while keeping a good distance away out of sight most of the time. Luckily, their party is so noisy that tracking them is trivial. After a few hours, your quarry leaves the trail and hikes over a field. You now have to follow a bit closer in order to not lose them. Soon they stop on a hill with a large slab of granite at the top. They set the unicorn down on this slab and surround it. They begin chanting. The chant is infernal, but you can only make out a few words from here. They are chanting a prayer, you think, something about forgiveness. I am no Nerulian priest, but I do not think this bodes well for the unicorn, says Reginold. They mean to sacrifice him, Saiba says. The unicorn is a him? Reginald asks. Yes, I observed when they carried him by our hiding spot, Saiba responds. Irrelevant, you say in exasperation. Our enemies stand in the open and on high ground we cannot approach unnoticed. Allow me to lure them to you to the forest edge. I shall play the part of the frightened lost girl. They will be overjoyed to recapture what they lost. You can then attack from your hiding places, says Saiba. Not, my lady, they may harm you, says Reginold. I will disembowel them. I will disembowel them, she says, brandishing the dagger Reginald lent her. I understand your anger for what they did to your father, but do not die a fool, says Reginald. A fool? Am I? Saiba asks, her face is such a visage of malice that you and Reginald both take, take a step back. Reginald stutters. Perhaps stealth would serve us better. You interject. I might turn invisible, creep into their midst, and cut the unicorn free. My friend, surely your powers are best spent spewing forth gouts of deadly fire, not sneaking about like a rat. Fire and steel, simple and effective, says Reginald. What do you do? Uh, so I can't do fire and steel because I don't have enough mana. Turn invisible. Use Saiba as bait. Think I trust her anger. And plus I think the priest will counter any spells I do. So yeah. Very well. We shall help you get your vengeance. You tell Saiba. If you have any wish to leave, do not fight them. Simply lure them into the forest and allow Reginald and myself to do the bloody work. You and Reginald take up ambush positions on each side of an animal trail. When you're ready, Saiba walks off toward the evil priest hill. Soon you hear shouting and then Saiba sprints past your hiding place. You see three Nerulian priests chasing her, and they appear to be running perfectly into the ambush position. Nice job, Saiba, you think. You had hoped to lure more than three since you counted more than 20 total. Killing this trio will do little to thin their numbers. Still, three dead villains is good start, and you can't allow these men to catch Saiba. What do you do? Okay, see, I'll just firebolt one of them. Okay, at least I didn't lose a life point. That's good. That's a good sign. Reginald leaps out and with one mighty swing nearly lops off the head of the Nerulian priest in the lead. As planned, Reginald has halted them by springing out in front. Now it is your turn to strike from the rear. With an arcane word, you send a fireball into the back of one of the priests, engulfing him in flames. The third one unsheaths a short sword, but he is clearly distracted by his burning comrade rolling on the ground in agony. Reginald cuts him down before he is able to put up a fight. Yeah, teamwork!
Nothing great happens when you hold back.
Presently, Saiba trots out of the forest. She stops short for the fallen priest and them. Beams down at them. Wonderful! We should set their head upon spikes to decorate their camp. Gee, Saiba. Well, it is not time to start playing with their parts just yet, you say. They have lost only 3 men out of perhaps 2 dozen. I heard women scream. Oh no. Heard women screams. Was it the frightened little girl or Benson? A voice carrier reads from the direction of the priest hill. Laughter trickles in through the trees. We had better do something quick before the suspicious of our remaining enemies are aroused. Reginold whispers. Oh, you got me! Saiba claps her hand excitedly. Don't those close raise the hoods, then drag me up the hill. They are not so stupid as to mistake us for their comrades in broad daylight, says Reginald. Well, we dare not attack so many without surprise, and we cannot simply sneak up on them now. Surely they are watching the wood, you say. Keep your back to them as Keep your backs to them as you drag me, Saiba says. Reginald shakes his head. This ambush worked well enough, perhaps. We could call more of them into the wood, divide them further, shout to them that we need help searching for the girl. If I have enough power, I could become invisible and go up there alone to cut the unicorn free. You think? Obviously, a risky move. A slightly less costly option in terms of mana would be to cast an illusion of goblin to serve as distraction on one side as Reginald charges up on the hill on the other. Titus, but Banton, come now. The ceremony must continue. One of the Nerulian priests shouts in the distance. What do you do? Uh, the thing is, I I won't want to cast invi- invisibility spell because I think they really can counter or see through my illusion. So I don't know if casting another illusion would do. Maybe we should do the same. I mean, it did work so well. Let's do the ambush again. I'm torn between dragging Saiba, but yeah, there's lure more. Help us find her! Reginald shouts in a disfigured voice that sounds like an angry moose. You and Reginald laugh into your sleeves. What fine sport this is, you whisper. Idiot! Comes an irate sound. Leave her then. The ceremony must proceed. Isai, I do not think this ruse will work. We cannot expect them to leave their prize on the hill to beat the bushes for a girl. We must act quickly before they become suspicious. What do you do? Fine, I'll cast. I don't have any mana left. I'll cast an illusion spell because. No! Reginald and Simon make their way towards one edge of the wood, while you creep up to a spot with a clear view of where you shall cast your illusion. Meanwhile, the priest shouts threats and insult to their perceived blackguard companion. Some of them begin chanting, and it looks like they are going to resume their ceremony without the others. You have the goblin materialize out of the woods and charge up the hill, snapping and yipping. The morning sun glints off of their spear tips and sword blades. What a nice touch! Priest raises the alarm, and the others run toward the threat. Goblins in daylight! One of them shouts. Other priests begin casting spells, and as soon soon the hiss of their death magic slices through the air into the onrushing horde. You try to have the goblin react realistically. Several fall as the ray rip through them. Nevertheless, you know you cannot keep this ruse up for long. Meanwhile, Reginald and Cyber are rushing up the hill from the other side. Humans and goblins! Magical trickery! Kill the humans! Shout Lord Agrine from somewhere in their midst. Before the priest can turn their full attention to Reginald and Saiba, the two reach the priest's circle. Hacking and stabbing this causes a fair amount of confusion. However, they are already beginning to rally, and you know Reginald and Saiba will not be able to survive a barrage of death magic. You charge up the hill shouting at the top of your lungs while trying to maintain enough concentration on your illusion to keep it going. Granted, many of the priests now realize the hoax, but there are still a few fighting the phantoms, and you need their attention divided if you have any hope of survival. I only got 2 life points left and 1 mana. You are nearly upon them before a dark hissing ray strikes you in the abdomen. You crumple over. As you try to rise, a wild-eyed priest charges at you with short sword raised. Just before you think he will cut you down, a horn rips out through his chest. The unicorn, you realize. Reginald or Saiba must have freed him in the confusion, and now you have a fierce mythical beast on your side. Good sir, the unicorn says to you as he withdraws his horn from the priest's back. He then spins around and continues to kick and gore in a frenzy, shouting at the priest. You will pay for your iniquities. You're frozen in surprise. You've never seen a horse talk. His horsey lips do not move about like humans. Rather, his mouth simply opens and the words spills out. Of course, now is not the time to be impressed by talking horses. Now is the time for smiting evil. You pull yourself together and rush for it, stabbing fanatically. You're a wizard, not a warrior, so there's no skill to your butchery. Fortunately, the priests seem equally incompetent in close quarter fight. Lord Agrine is a few meters away, a dagger in one hand, shouting orders. Kill the beast! Shouts Lord Agrine from amidst the other priests. Spells are cast and the air fills with hissing dark bolts of energy. You duck behind the stone as one sizzles above you. Peeking over the stone, you see several dark bolts strikes the unicorn, and it whinnies in pain. Most of the remaining priests are so focused on the unicorn that they don't even notice Reginald joining the rear for their prey, swinging his sword with a grim smile on his face. Somehow, they are oblivious to the butchery behind. In Nero's name, die! The Lady Agrine shouts from her father's side as she sends forth a crackling ray into the side of the unicorn's head. The magnificent horse crashes to the ground. No! Behind! Behind! Someone shouts. Now the priests turn their attention to Reginald. He cannot stand against so many. You charge dagger in hand, shouting like a madman. With you striking from one side and Reginald on the other, the remnants of the priest scatters. In a flurry of stabs, you cut down a final one before he reaches the woods. A shadow falls across your path, and you whirl about. It's Saiba. Her ragged dress is splotched with blood, and the dagger Reginald lantern drips with the gore of a fresh kill. Okay. She has a manic smile on her face. Scary, but good job, I guess. Okay, Simon's kinda creeping me out now. Revenge! Revenge for my captivity! She exclaims. She then runs off, presumably to hunt down more fleeing priests. Oh, Saiba, you crazy murderer. You are considering joining her when you catch a glimpse of Lady Agraine's long, beautiful hair disappearing into the forest below. Oh, someone has a crash. We rush into the woods to investigate. Sitting prop against a fallen log, only a few meters away, is Lord Eghron. His glassy, lifeless eyes stare down at his entrails spilling out upon his lap. There are symbols drawn in blood on large stones nearby. Kneeling beside him is the Lady Eghron. She is searching his pockets. Where is it? She shouts at her father and then slaps his face. Where is what? You ask as you take a step closer. Wow, we're taking a step closer. We only has 2 life points left. She looks up at you with surprise and then she smiles. Gods be, Gods be praised. You saved me from my cursed father and his what? His minions. She exclaimed. What? Save her? So is she a nice lady? Save you from them? You are a priestess of death, are you not? You ask. You have fantasized about approaching Lady Eghron more times than you can count, but you never expected your first words would be this. No, no, I, I was but slave to my father, she says, her face contorted in rage. She then smiles down at the mangled corpse next to her. Now he is gone and I am free, but we must not dally here. Unroll, a master from another world stalks nearby. She points at one of the blood symbols scrawled on a nearby rock. The symbol is infernal. You look back to see Reginold chasing and hacking priests in the grassy field beyond. Lady Egren extends her gloved and bloodied hand. Small, glowing orbs appear and circle her fingers. She stares at the orbs and entranced and says, Perhaps, perhaps, with the help of good people, I may find the light of this world. Yeah, that's going to be our Lady Akron voice. Snapping out of her meditation, she returns her attention to you and says urgently, Quickly, gather your friends and follow me. What do you do? Um, I can't even charm her even if I want to. Should I trust her? She seems like she's telling the truth. I don't want to trust her just yet, so let's demand her. No! No! Okay, so what's going to happen now? My lady, although your beauty makes my heart ache, I must demand your surrender. I will take you to the ring city where your innocence can be proven. You unsling your backpack to fetch your rope to bind her. Lady Agraine's smile washes away by Neryl's hand. Wait, By Noodle's hand, die! A dark ray of hissing energy shoots from her fingertips. You shield yourself with your backpack, but the ray penetrates through, striking your arm. You feel cold. Alas, you finally come. Wait, so she. Lady Agron's smile washes away. So she was just deceiving us. Let's do last chapter. Okay. Okay, so let's attack her. You witness this woman strike down a unicorn with black magic. It will take more than a beautiful smile to erase that foul deed, you think. Forget the others. Let us flee together. Show me the way to safety. You exclaim. No, no. Forget the others. Let us flee together. Show me the way to safety. You exclaim to Lady Agrain. She flashes you a huge, beautiful smile and turns to lead you. She must have heard you rushing up behind her because she takes only a few steps before turning to face you, snarling. In Neryl's name, you interrupt her spell with a stab just above her collarbone. She opens her mouth and spouts blood. Again and again, you stab until she lies on the ground motionless. Yeah, you cannot fool me, bitch. What a grisly and sad ending for the two of us. You think, looking down at Lady Agrain. Of course, there had never been a two of you, but your dreams were real enough. So you wonder, she had been looking for something of her father's. What was it? Just then, Reginold runs up to breathing hard. The the priests mean to regroup. I hear them calling for one another in the woods. We best move on. He looks down at Lady Grin. Is that? Yes, it is she, you reply. We may need a drink tonight, Reginald says. You nod and then point to Saiba, who is now running around the grassy hills crying and tripping as though in a panic. Now what, Saiba? Hey! Reginald shakes his head. Wait, hey! Reginald shakes his head. Only moments ago she was dashing about this field wielding that dagger of mine like a bloodthirsty assassin. Now, who is she? Is this the way of women? You shrug and jog out onto the grass. As you take Saiba by the wrist to try and calm her, Reginald announces that he will search just a few bodies before playing. No, no use letting the vulture swallow our treasures, he says cheerfully. It is It is not safe to stay out in the open. We must not dally, you warn your friend, ignoring Saiba's attempt to pull away from your grasp. Just then, the unicorn stands up, his legs are shaking and his eyes are bulging. You thought he was dead. No, no, not this. The creature bellows. He pauses for a moment and then screams triumphantly. This world is mine. Upon uttering this pronouncement, the unicorn gallops towards the granite slabs and proceeds to bash his own head into it. You hear the horn snaps with a croak, blood splatters the white rock as the creature batters his skulls over and over. Gods! Why? No! Reginald stammers. Saiba commences screaming with renewed vigor. After a few seconds of this self-mutilation, the unicorn, with its Jack stab. Oh, I think the unicorn's possessed. Stab of a horn turns and charges down the hill towards you. All three of you shouts as you ran with abandon. When you reach the woods, you look back to see the unicorn crashing on the grass, screeching in an unearthly tone. Evil magic, Reginald says. You stare in horror and realize that this magic is beyond your understanding. Motioning for the others to follow you, you say, "We have pressed good fortune long enough. Let us return to Ring City and the company of good people." Come on, let's just go home. The three of you set off toward Ring City, your beloved home. You and Reginald are grateful to have some company for the lengthy walk. The two of you have long since exhausted your trove of stories and can nearly predict what each other will say. Saiba, on the other hand, is full of stories of faraway places, creatures, and magic you've never heard of before. A merchant's daughter must really get around. As it turns out, Saiba's family has recently moved to Ring City, and her brother Jordan tends the candle shop there. Nevertheless, she bombards you with questions about the city. She seems to want to know everything from who's in the noble families down to the local gossip. The time passes quickly. By nightfall, the tall gates of the city rise above you. The guards, typically a suspicious lot, usher the three of in you in without hesitation. They have known you and Reginald for years. Reginald was once even a member of the guard. Okay, okay, this is good, this is good. Once inside, you immediately head to your lock. There you rest and apply your healment. Oh, thank God. Are we gonna recover the life points that we lost now? Okay. Ointments to your wounds. You hide the majority of your loot under your floorboards. By the following evening, you are refreshed and feel stronger and more powerful than ever. You toss a handful of gold coins into your money pouch and meet up with Saiba and Reginald at the luring Virgin Inn for some much deserved celebration. Okay, so this is Reginald and Saiba. Huh. The three of you feast and drink and tell stories, exaggerated of course, to the in to it the to the irregulars and otherwise thoroughly enjoy yourselves. There is no justice, there is no law, there is only power. You quote from the first book of the book bound in human skin that you lifted from the sacrificial altar in the Inverness castle. Sounds like what a zombie racing no good Gorgons ours would write, Reginald says with slurred speech. The three of you are not alone at the table in a corner of the inn, as all the other patrons have grown bored of your boasting and tall tales and have gone to bed. Look, we fought ogres, evil priests, goblins, and even a demon, so you guys, you page through the book. Ah, what's this? You exclaim. This speaks of the Baroness Ireland lying with Sir Roger of Chesterford. Evil cousin, no more? Siva says and then takes a swig of wine. Well, the account seems rather detailed. You read further, and oh, Guildmaster Franz Percas has been skimming gold from the mint, melting the coin down and recasting them with more copper. Aha! I thought the coins from the money changer were light. Reginald begins rummaging in his packet. What is that? A book of dirty secrets? Saiba asks, pointing at the book accusingly. Okay, so I I rather think it is. Why, this silly little book might be worth more than the rest of our loot put together, you say. And you think the lady at Green might have been looking for that book? Says Reginald. He casts his eyes down to the table. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to bring her to mind. You put up your hand to reassure your friend. It is well that I learned to not judge a woman by her face. You say, doing your best to give a convincing shrug. I had heard House Egron had fallen on hard times. Desperation leads to an evil path, does it not? Reginald nods vigorously, slushing his drink. The glassy-eyed expressions on your friend's face is the last thing you see before you black out. When you regain awareness, you are standing over a bed shouting, "No, Reginald, you can't die, please!" You push, you're pushing down on Reginald's neck, attempting to stem the wait, what? Flow of blood. It is no use. He's deadly still on the blood soap bed and there. What? Wait, what? Wait, what? Reginald nods vigorously. The glassy-eyed expression on your face is the last thing you see before you. What? Okay, I blacked out. When you regain, you are standing over a bed. No, Reginald, you cannot die. Please, you are pushing down. Wait, what's going on? Wait, is this a dream? I think this is a nightmare. So this is Reginald. Gods! Gods! No! You shout and run out of the room. You are now in what you recognize as the hallway of the Luring Virgin Inn. You shout for help and look back at him helplessly. From here you can see bloody finger painting on the wall around Reginald runes. In Infernal that appears to be some sort of spell used to harvest power from a soul. Wait, oh. There are footsteps from behind, and you turn to see a city guard and an old man approaching. Seize that one! The old man! No, seize that one! The old man croaks as he points at you. He's the murderer! Oh no, I think I got possessed by the evil book. And I killed Reginold. Okay, points. Oh, Reginald still died at the end. Come on. Well played. In only a few hours, tales of your deeds have spread throughout Ring City. Your total score is 680, earning you a reputation of survivor with nice teeth. The table below shows where you rank. Oh, that sucks. Loaded with coins, layer of evil, built in. Survivor with nice teeth. Congratulations, you finished it. Total 30 coins, okay. Breakdown, attributes, car, morale, gold. At least I got a lot of gold. New heights. Hey, you survived! Nice. Interactive fiction readers like you are awesome. Shameless flag. Please aid the. Okay. Okay. So it sucks that Reginald still died at the end, but and I think it's a low score. I got a low score, only 600. But yeah, it sucks that Reginald died. I'm curious to what will happen next. I think I got possessed by the book, and I don't know where Saiba is, and I think we're going to fight off or run from the guards and the villagers. So yeah, I'm really curious of what will happen next. So this chapter is over. So uh, till next time, we'll continue this in another day. For now, goodbye, guys.